Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, Curse of the Vampire Coast, where we are going to put an end to chaos this day. Possibly. Listen, I don't want to oversell it, but I think there's a real good chance. Silostra Direfin is on the case. Sorry, Dirfan. Is on the case. She is ready to do the thing. So the bad news is, I can't actually attack these guys right now, and I suspect they will just flee from us. But they can only flee for so long. Peggy's just gonna fight these guys out in the ocean, right? I don't see that there's a lot of reason to do anything other than that. They do have a lot of hell cannons, which is a bummer, but they also have a lot of heavy infantry that are not going to be particularly good against our army, and a lot of their units are pretty busted up from all of the attrition. We don't have anything particularly fast. The hell cannons are just going to be a problem. That's just unfortunately the way it is. No they're not. Never mind. She's got it under control. I will say, I feel a little bit bad for the Chaos Forces because I think the auto-resolver does undervalue the hell cannons. It's pretty weird. Alright, so we're level 38. We're going to get 2 more skill points after this. We definitely want to take... Zombie, Pirate Gunnery Mob, Rotting Promethean Gunnery Mob. Some big buffs. We'll get All Hands Way on the, or whatever, however this is intended to be pronounced, on the next level up, and then we'll come back and get one more of the veterancy buffs. And Peggy Rains, honestly, at this point, is looking to be maybe one of the most powerful commanders in our faction. And we're going to end up just going through the beach at the Twisted Glade, right? I don't really need to try to move up or anything. There's no way I'm taking this beach. Bonnie Jackson is going to run around and continue to fight Dark Elves. This is actually really annoying because that Dark Elf is going to retreat when we try to attack, and they're going to make it far enough away that we won't actually be able to attack them this turn. Oh, they are not going to flee. They're going to stand and fight with a hero who has 1 health and a single regiment of renown. Well, listen, I really appreciate that. Sorry, 267? How? How would these guys kill 177 units? How much ammo do they have? Even if we just stood there and let them shoot at us, I can't imagine them getting that many kills. You continue to just blue line right up. Will Amstrel is probably going to fight some Khemri in the near future. I think we probably can't make it into Chupiano, right? Because of the way his ship is placed. We could sail over there and just try to fight him. But I think what I want to do here is get on land.
What is your demand?
Although I don't really have an easy way to get on land. Maybe I just wait right where I am? Or even turn north? I think I just wait right where I am. Alright, you guys, unfortunately, are not quite close enough to actually fight these Chaos dudes, but they're very torn up. I definitely want to declare intent here, right? I'm a little worried, actually, I guess. Here's what I'll do. We'll move over to here. I think the Chaos guys are more likely to try to run this way than this way, given that they are sailing in this direction already. We'll just go into ambush mode here. Maybe they'll just wander into us. Temple of Tlenkan does not have proper walls. That's why these guys are headed over here. I don't anticipate it being a huge problem. So yeah, Will, you're just waiting. Burke Black should probably pull something out of the Raised Dead pool, or... No Regiment of Renown for you. Yeah, probably just pull something out of the Raised Dead pool. I don't know. Melee, I guess? Honestly, a Bloated Corpse is probably pretty reasonable here.
My visions predict failure.
Yeah. And let's put down a couple of rebellions real fast. My units are not super high veterancy. I'm wondering about, in terms of our human time, the amount of limited time we have in our lives, is it worth it to manually fight this battle? I think we're probably okay. Yeah. That's not even a good or interesting force of Dark Elves. And then we should have a real easy time putting these guys down. I know I said I was thinking he wasn't going to come back and handle this, but I'm not sure that the guy in the north is going to have time. This we're going to manually resolve, because I think at this point an auto-resolve would probably kill a bunch of my units. Can never quite trust the auto-resolver when it comes to ranged units that have damage on them. Each one of them will get 400 kills and somehow also die. Alright, I'm seeing a lot of trees, but they're all inside my deployment area, which is good for us. So we can just set up at the edge and then like move 2 steps forward and be free of them. And this should go down very, very quickly. And then, hopefully, we can get public order under control in these regions with the help of the military crackdown buff, bonus, I suppose. So I'd really love to not have to do this again. Okay, this one's not probably worth overthinking very much. Just line up as close as possible. Try to make it so none of the mortars are behind a tree. A bunch of melee to one side. Some melee on the other side. And go.
Don't stop.
Alright, this should be pretty straightforward. Oh, look at the snow falling out of the trees.
Move, you dogs.
Something tells me as soon as these Vargeists get into gun range, they will wish that they had not gotten into gun range. Look at their lord fleeing. He senses what is coming, and he knows. He knows it's going to be bad. Try to keep these guys distracted. Fire some magic at the Cairn Wraiths. You know how vampire armies are. The lord dies, they're just going to crumble. I'm going to go straight for him. Oh, Jesus. It's a lot of artillery fire all of a sudden. Hey, you! Let's rumble. I might have led that by too much. It was okay. He's trying to escape. Look at this. This is just open cowardice. Well, I don't think he's going to be much happier being on this side of the problem. Hey, guess what? Bad news! May as well, real quick here, buff myself with damage reduction to try to lower the amount of damage I take from friendly fire there. It was considerable. They didn't even start firing their volley until after the enemy lord was dead. They pretty much just all shot Burke. Now, I know what they're going to say. I can already hear. Oh, you know what? It's you know, we're trying to do the right thing, but our hands are very old and rotten, and they're just slow. Don't buy it. Don't listen to any of that nonsense. Every single one of these guys is itching to get a shot at Burke Black. Nobody knows why. I don't even know how you upset undead troops enough for them to want to kill their commander. But somehow he's managed it. That's alright. If they ever, like, really turn on him and try to mutiny, he could just walk away from them briskly. They'll never be able to stop him. We are going to have to keep one army in this area, probably for the rest of the game. I mean, there's not, hopefully, not that much game left. Because, man oh man, are we going to have some public order problems here that we just don't have time to fix.
It's mine, Admiral of the Fleet. Deckhands, forward.
Okay, oh that's right, Harganeth isn't actually a port. Yeah, this is a shame. It's not super easy to get off of this land, or off of this landmass into the water without losing a bunch of movement. Alright, we definitely have room for another one of these. Spire Reach, I suppose, could have a garrison structure. Of these, I think it's the most important that the Black Pillar get upgraded, but none of them are really important. Upgrade that as well. Up at Dagrak's End, we don't really have a lot of options, unfortunately. This will help a little bit.
All bones on deck.
How are my other Dark Elf provinces doing? Here we're actually positive for the moment. I'm gonna go ahead and do this because we could use the extra public order in the adjacent provinces. And then I'm not going to stick around here and try to build up the ability to produce troops in these areas or anything. We don't need any of that nonsense. Okay, that's honestly probably more than that region needs. Pretty solid over here. Obviously, we have a lot of rebuilding that we're going to have to do here eventually. I may as well start on some of that. Here, we're going to be probably in pretty bad shape until we resettle Nagrar and Shagrath. That's one thing that army can do while it's waiting for the next round of rebellions, hopefully. Alright, who's left? Two Toes Adley. Just needs to get on land. We probably just want to get into the Blacklight Tower and then hold up for a turn, right? Don't really have any recruitment structures here, but we do have a good raised dead pool. Well, better than average, I guess. Not really good.
Another victory.
You know, bats honestly they have their value against chaos. I suppose we've killed most of the hell cannons though, haven't we? Yeah, I'm a little worried about how short this army is on melee. I guess we should keep running because there's not actually any danger up here. The armies that are up here are very shattered.
On deck.
Robert Hodgson has no immediate role, right? Well, I certainly don't want him to sail south by himself. He's not going to be able to do anything by himself. I suppose it's possible that the Wood Elves could turn around. He may as well come down here. This helps to defend against any more Wood Elf shenanigans, and also we're probably going to want to leave from the Lothern area to head over to all of this nonsense. Awful lot of vampire fighting in our near future. Alright, Amelia Hodgson. Hey, here's an embarrassing story. This settlement is called Lost Plateau. So, thank you, Clockwork Minion, for pointing that out in the comments. In my defense, a lot of the time it's kind of like inside the mountain, so you can only read the beginning, and you see Platea. Why, that could be any word. No, I was just like 100% looking for a physical plateau, not paying enough attention to the names of the settlements. So, yeah, almost certainly we just need to dig over here. At this point, we don't even need the money.
Voyaging.
Oh, hey, look, it's Archaon. He's back. Hopefully someone will kill him, like in a really thorough and permanent way. And you get to assault these units. Because they don't really have the ability to replenish here. It's just, in fact, it's just going to keep getting worse for them because we have the vampire mists running.
I best tread carefully.
Alright, and Jimbo Sharp is ready to be resummoned, but he's just going to have to stay ready. We certainly don't have room for him right now. We have a bunch of people who are almost ready to be integrated into the command system. They're so very close. Alright, Chaos, what do you got? Also, a bunch of other people, I guess, are going to take their turns, but mostly I'm interested in what Chaos has. Teneska here might be the last of the Dark Elves. I think this is the last Dark Elf army. She might just hurl herself against Kawark as soon as she has the movement to do so. Sometimes when you get them down to no settlements and 1 or 2 armies, they just suicide to get it over with. Which is a behavior that I really appreciate the devs putting in. It makes finishing off a defeated faction a lot less tedious. Alright, let's see what these Khemri do. My guess is... Oh, okay, interesting. What I was going to say is my guess is he's just going to like get up on shore and siege Chupiatl, and that's when we want our army to go after him, when we're going to get the massive advantage of that city garrison. But fleeing is good too. Open flight, crying and screaming all the way across the ocean. Absolutely a viable tactic, and what I'm glad he's considering. The crying is obviously, you know, poetic license. Pretty sure Khemri don't have liquids to expel. Any kind of liquids, really. I guess some of them are mummies, right? Well, mummies, part of the whole point of mummies is that they dry them out, right? I don't think there are any mummies in this game, but I think there are mummies in Khemri Society because there are mummies in Blood Bowl. And if there's one thing I know about Blood Bowl, it's that it is 100% reliable canon. I'm liking this thing, by the way, where the vampires are all looking tremendously weakened. I wonder if they actually are just fighting Chaos off. They were the ones who were responsible for killing most of the Northern Chaos armies last time. Doesn't necessarily mean that they've done it again. Wood Elves are looking pretty soft, too. You know what would be actually really helpful for us right now is if Chaos just won. Just, like, thoroughly won. Yep, Durthu did, in fact, turn around. Maybe he thought he faked us out enough. Well, we're on the way. We're ready for him. And Arcan is sailing directly into the heart of the vampire imperial lands. The Great von Karstein Empire. Okay, we are on the way toward the monoliths. We will be able to wreak bloody vengeance for the thing that's about to happen here. Oh, interesting. They're not attacking. And those guys didn't move. I thought for sure they'd go out to sea. Ah, you fools! Well, that's an easy battle. Yeah, that's fair. I can definitely see the deckhand mobs getting just torn apart here. Look at that. 2 ambushes now. We've had 2 successful ambushes. Alright, the Aghal Wastelands are planning to rebel. Oh, I have a single settlement over here. Well, we're probably going to have to settle the whole north in order to get it under control. Alright, one thing at a time. One thing at a time. First of all, Silostra Dirfan. We, I think, ignore these guys for now. We'll just run over here and fight the big group of dudes. I think we should be able to make this happen very quickly. Two Toes Adley can come over here and finish this guy off next turn or something. So my assumption is we're going to see some amount of desperate Craven fleeing. No, they stand and fight. Well, bad news. You know what, let's go ahead and do this manually. I know I've been auto-resolving these just to try to get through them because I don't find fighting Chaos to be particularly interesting the 4th time around, but I do like playing as Silostra's army. They have some fun stuff going. Plus, I'd really love it if these Sirens did not die. They have a bad tendency to die in situations where I might not even use them. So obviously this army is completely irrelevant. It's these guys that we care about. So we're actually going to want to push forward probably as fast as we safely can. Just want to try to minimize the amount of time the Hell Cannons have to fight us. Although, I suppose we could just let, in Silostra's army, because we have proper cavalry, we could just let the Chaos dudes come to us a little bit, endure a little bit of Hell Cannon fire, and then have Robert and the Knights of the Damned roll forth upon them. I sure do love Robert and his Knights of the Damned. Yeah, so I'm gonna gunline pretty much right up against the edge here. Try to stay off of that hill.
Let it begin.
I mean, as always, Silostra and Robert are gonna do a lot of the lifting on this one. I'm hoping to get them to land their lord quickly here. That's what we really want. Because we can carve this dude up very, very, very quickly with the magic of the Sword of Cain. And Silostra should be able to trivially defeat this entire army by herself. So we have Robert ride out, because there's no reason not to have Robert ride out, and he can maybe speed up the process a little bit. Jesus. Come down here and fight me, you coward. Oh no, he's too smart to come down and fight me. Whatever shall we do? We have our reinforcements coming in too. I kind of forgot about them. I don't know, guys. Just get up here and we'll figure it out once you arrive. Hell cannons already able to fire on Silostra. Alright, hold up. Hold up, back off. What is this that's coming for me? Some chariots? I wanna let stuff get into gunnery range. Okay, now we can fight. I can't believe their lord is such a coward. Here's what we're gonna do real quick. We're just gonna have everybody go after that man. I don't need to put up with this nonsense. I probably want to wait on the tornado until those guys get a little bit closer. But I'm going to go ahead and summon the knights now, because I think we have a nice clean path to charging the hell cannons. Don't let us sing them a song of their failure. They're doing their best to interfere. Okay. That's under control. Huh. The gunners are doing a remarkably bad job of killing these units for some reason. Hey, Henry Aldo. Fix this. This is a problem we should not be having over here. I don't know why we have so thoroughly failed to kill any of these Chaos Knights. I guess all of the units are firing inward. Oh, right, because they haven't actually killed the Lord yet, despite the fact that I told them to do that what feels like an hour ago. Trap that right there and hope that it wanders in a useful direction. There we go. Now they don't have to focus on that so much anymore, and they can just shoot at other stuff. And I want to summon my crabs. It would be really nice if we could summon crabs here, but unfortunately we're just going to have to wait for the rest of these guys to approach instead. Right. Disentangle yourselves. Henry Aldo will solve this problem. You should back up. Robert over here is not doing his not doing optimal work when he just has to sit in and fight melee. He wants to be charging people. I'm going to charge their lord. He's just a wizard. I'm not afraid of him. Chop him one. Give him a chop. Hit him with your sword, though. Use your weapon. Robert comes from a very old Bretonnian school of combat, where you just overawe the enemy through sheer might and staring at them. Kill him. He's not going to kill him. Be faster. Just get kills. Right, Silostra's doing a good job of holding off the entire enemy army by herself, as she sometimes does. Hey, you guys. Maybe solve that problem. Yeah, this is kind of what I was hoping to play Silostra a little bit doing. It's just fun to have her run out in the middle of everything and tank like this. Alright, I do believe this is just about over. Poor Robert's gotten himself all surrounded. Alright, well, I do believe that the army we attacked, the small army that we attacked, was in march mode, and I think that makes it so none of the armies that are involved in the battle can retreat. A little bit unfortunate that the the leading army spreads their weaknesses to their allies. So we've wiped out... This was the good, healthy Chaos Army, right? No, 549, it must not have been. This must have been one of the ones that was, like, at half. The good, healthy Chaos Army is sieging the city from the south, aren't they? So we probably will not actually be able to wipe out all the Chaos forces on this landmass this turn. Probably will have to go one more turn to do it. But we are right here, man. We are at the cusp of being done with chaos forever. For this game, until the next time we play Total War Warhammer 2 and have to fight 10,000 more Chaos armies. I think one thing that would help is if there was some sort of persistent chaos, like some sort of goal that they were going for, you know? As it is, it feels a little, I don't know if I want to say arbitrary, but like the way they show up, it doesn't have a lot of weight in the world around it. Okay, no, apparently that was the healthiest Chaos army in the area. So we're just gonna have them sprint off one by one. I mean, we can just go ahead and auto-resolve here. Because at this point, there's almost nothing left to pursue us. Or rather, yeah, nothing left to fight back. So I think we're probably not going to be able to kill this guy, because he has the ability to retreat. Oh, he's going to choose not to. I'm not going to auto-resolve, because I'm worried that it will kill the Sirens. We get one good auto-resolve per turn. Where it doesn't kill all my units, it seems like. But this should be completely trivial and very fast. We're going to spend more time loading into and out of this battle than we're going to spend fighting it. And then, is that every Chaos army in the north? There might be one or two scattered around somewhere, but we're basically done. There's only one Chaos army left in the south, although we still have Khemris to deal with. Yeah, we've just about... We had a whole lot of attacks on our borders show up in a whole lot of places all at once, but we are almost done with all of them. Okay, there they are. Bam! Problem solved. Why is that not... There we go. Bam! Problem solved. This time, I might not have Silastras just charge forward. We do have to manage her health a little bit. She's not going to regenerate to full every turn. Then again, I suppose she doesn't have to, does she? Because she's not actually probably going to engage in any combat for a couple of turns after this. Yeah, alright. Get up there, let's do it. Man, having your cannons on a raised platform like this is so helpful. Let's get her a little closer. I want her to be able to drop this right away. I don't want to have to give her an order that includes a movement. Okay, it's doing a pretty good job of chasing some of those guys down. Looks like the gunners probably have the horses under control. Gonna summon crabs now before all of the reinforcement units get in place. Okay, sing the song, and that's probably the end of the battle right there. Remember, we actually take more damage from our artillery with Silastra's army than we ordinarily would, because of the fact that everything in the army deals magic damage. You guys can stop, it's under control. That's a pretty good shot, though. Alright, Silastra's just gonna rip this dude in half real quick. Look at him down, he's just laying down. Oh man, you should not have gotten up. I don't think getting up was a good play. You were going to wish that you were laying down in a second here. Yep, that's what I was talking about. Okay, who still fights? Nobody. Nobody. Turns out it's resolved. The crabs did the job. 0 losses. Probably not quite what we would have gotten out of the auto-resolver. I'm bummed out that neither one of these units of Sirens... I guess the units in your army are not like characters in your army. I think they only get XP when they actually do stuff. So, me keeping the Sirens out of battle, because I am afraid they will die due to being low level, is also keeping them low level. Ah well, they're like, they're the C-string of this army anyway. First you have all the guns, then if there's a problem that you can't solve with just all the guns, there's Silastra and Robert there, who could probably, at this point, take on reasonably large armies by themselves. As a team. And then, if all that fails, we could, like, engage in, I don't know, infantry melee tactics. Seems a bit old-fashioned to me, though. So I don't believe that these guys will be able to retreat again. Like, I think they're actually gone now. Let's hope that's the last one, because I'd really like to get on with our business. Nope. Chaos armies live forever.
Onward, stagehands!
Oh, that's right. There is still this to deal with. So this is going to be Two-Toes Hadley's job. She can go back and get those guys pretty easily.
Get on with it!
And she's leveled up enough to be integrated into the command structure now. I don't know what we will give her. Actually, Billy Do is as well. So one of you is the Fleet Beastmaster, which gives us an upkeep reduction on units we're not using, and the other one gets to actually have bonus damage and stuff on their army. And I think that's it's important that that be her, because she's gonna. First of all, her army's entirely gone, so that's important. And secondly, she still has Chaos Dudes to fight. Okay.
Admiral of the fleet.
It turns out Peggy will not be needed up here. The problem has been resolved. Time to send Peggy down to a place where she can actually do some work.
On deck.
Ronnie Jackson. I'll turn off taxation here while we finish getting it built up. And then Ronnie Jackson can just run out and... How much public order is here from? 4 from characters. Well, not a lot I can do about it. We may end up with a rebellion up here. So I think what I want to do is just run across the north edge of the map. Because we got to go resettle these settlements over here. Or rather, settle them maybe for the first time. I don't know. I assume this stuff didn't start empty.
On deck.
Alright, Will Amstrel was waiting for the Emery to do something, and they have done something, I guess.
Corsair of the night.
Them fleeing is certainly something. Alright, we begin the Great Wave toward the south. So you should finish off Invocation of Nahak before anything else. He's going to be in charge of either defending Tlenkan or reclaiming it once it has fallen. Both of those things look possible at this point. Man, traveling over land sucks.
Fly the flag.
Alright, I guess let's do it. That city's garrison will probably be able to do some damage here. I bet we can at least get rid of the Hell Cannons.
All bones on deck.
Robert Hodgson is, in fact, going to have to fight a huge tree monster. It looked like he might get away without it.
Captain, reporting. Journeying.
Right, so we definitely want to move once more before digging. You are... I mean, there's lava flows here, but we don't actually see a volcano. I think that it wants us to dig at the volcano.
Captain, reporting.
Eve Hodgson is of extremely limited value. If she can run down here and maybe harass the Khemri. Okay, we have an imminent rebellion, not really resolvable. It's possible that the rebels will just burn the Palace of Ruin, and if that happens, I'm fine with it. It's also possible that the rebels will re-instantiate a Dark Elf faction that has been defeated, and that I would not be okay with. Okay, no, they're Chaos Rebels, so they'll just burn the Palace of Ruin and then they'll burn the Palace of Ruin and then disappear. I'm fine with that. I don't actually need to own that province. This camera move could be a little faster. Interesting. I don't know what these guys are doing. Now they see the Star Tower's uninhabited and they think they can take it. Because they can't put together that if I was able to move to here in a single turn, I could just move back in a single turn. Well, we'll do that. If this one army keeps two Khemri armies busy for all of eternity, I guess that's a fine trade-off. Some question as to who will break down and stop being operational first. Probably zombies, right? Flesh has got to finish rotting at some point. Although I guess they are suffering sea attrition. Bunch of amateurs. Who taught the Khemri how to sail, anyway? So, I don't know. We're probably talking about, like... Honestly, I bet at least 5 turns worth of movement to get our good armies from up there to down here. Which means there might be a little break between this episode and the next one. While I move armies around in a way that is not very interesting to watch. Because that time is going to be very much dominated by the enemy turns playing out, and almost nothing that happens on the enemy turns is relevant to our game right now. Oh, the Bretonnians finally killed Kolek's Sun Eater. Who knows? Maybe the factions of the East will finally manage to break the Chaos Invasion. Wouldn't that be cool? Durthu is 100% down to raid Ulthuan as long as I offer no resistance at all. The moment it looks like he might have to fight somebody. Yo, that dude's name is Moore's Pig? That feels a little condescending. The Chaos Gods are absolutely the type of people who would give one of their loyal servants a name that's just mocking him. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't really understand why anybody wants to serve the Chaos Gods at all. Ah, there we go. There's the fleeing into the ocean that I was expecting. Honestly, that might be even worse for them. Kylas Crowbrother. That's a pretty good name. Some of these Chaos dudes have alright names. Where did that Chaos army come from? Did they bud? Alright, you go ahead and attack the Palace of Ruin. Here, you can have it. Yeah, they raise it, that rebel army ceases to exist. That all works just fine for me. A major naval battle has ended, leaving hundreds dead on each side. Death is no barrier to continued service, as you well know. I think that the seas are clear of enemies. We may travel with far less caution. I love campaign movement range at this moment. And one of our gunnery whites is finally ready to return to our service. Alright, let's knock this out real quick. Stop. Stop running. Hey, what do you know? Actually lost 0 on that one. Alright, into the sea we go. If these guys try to flee via water, I think they are going to find themselves unpleasantly surprised with the ineffectiveness of that plan. I will have Two Toes Adley resettle Slaver's Point so that we can re-establish some control over here. Burke Black. Let's keep sailing.
Admiral of the fleet.
Peggy could turn around and try to catch these guys, I guess. Nah, I'm going to have her keep moving. I think the idea here is that she and Robert Hodgson can be the Vanguard, right? I'm going to chase Durthu a little bit. Let's see if we can't maybe catch him trying to do another turnaround move in the water. And just put him away. At this point, there's so little time left in the game that, like, this could very well be the last time we ever see Durthu. Which would be pretty alright by me. Okay, apparently Will just needs to come back to the Star Tower. Can I get in without marching? I got over here without marching, but the path looks a little... Okay, yeah. And now both the Khemri armies are just going to turn around and go elsewhere. And we can play this game all day. Am I near a gravesite? I am not. I don't think I will be up here either. Pregnus Death Metal is just getting absolutely murdered by the spooky mist. It's kind of embarrassing for a big scary chaos dude. Well, you know, it was very foggy. That's why we failed. Just too damn foggy in that jungle. Have you seen the trees? So many trees. How does one deal with all these trees? This is unfortunate, because his gunnery white really needs to be with the armies, and he has no chance of catching up to them.
Time to move.
Hooray, let us go forth and dig for treasure. We did it! We found the Great Hoard! It's 5,000 gold we don't need. Okay, we also found a double barrel. That's handy.
Thousand lashes. Astride the waves.
Alright, Eve Hodgson is... I'm just gonna fire her again. Hey, you. Get fired. She'll be back. They always come back, no matter how much I don't really want them to. It feels like there was something else I was going to do. Well, we may as well upgrade these. We're going to need to get control of Poxmarch reestablished. And then up here in the north, let's just real quickly try to establish as many these things as we can. Alright, we're +1 here. We're starting to get the public order under control. A little bit. Yeah, even here where we don't have all the settlements, it's coming together. Well, then I guess I passed the turn with 44,000 gold, because I don't really have a lot else to do with it. We could put together another army, I suppose, at Ulthuan, but the problem isn't that we need more bodies. The problem is that the bodies we have are in the wrong place. Now that we've mostly dealt with the chaos problem, at least things are moving along. Somebody told the Chaos troops that I was actually having fun again fighting the Dark Elves, and they were like, well, that can't be allowed to stand. We'll do something about that. The problem isn't even really, like, the auto-resolve is good enough. The problem with Chaos is really just that every time they spawn, we have to do that same thing where I fight a bunch of losing battles just so that we can take out the Hell Cannons, and then we can gut them properly in future fights. Although I have to say, the auto-resolve was not very kind to them this time. I maybe didn't even have to worry about the Hell Cannons. We maybe could have just auto-resolved our way through all the defenses and still taken them down. You know, I don't know where we're at on the number of Cyrene and Mourngull troops we have. Now that we've switched to sort of a more crab-based defense... Don't you come over here. Okay. They seem to be busy. And now that we've switched to more of a crab-based defense, we might not have the 20 Syrenes that we need. Obviously, that's fixable in like a single turn. That'll probably be the last thing we do. Take over all of the settlements we need, and then just fire all of the troops and have everybody recruit Syrenes. But I seriously think we're maybe in position to end the series, to win this game this week. Wow, that's a lot of Dirthu. Holy shit! It's just a big old tree man. You really think this is the... Huh. Okay, well, let's do it. Perhaps Robert Hodgson can succeed where O'Bones MacDonald failed. Or rather, where O'Bones MacDonald succeeded in tremendously weakening these guys. Yeah, I know we didn't do so well against this army last time, but at this point... Also, wasn't the balance of power bar in roughly the same spot last time that it is this time? I guess it's because of all the veterancy that we had on O'Bones MacDonald's units that brought them up to the level of the full Wood Elf army in the game's eyes. Seems odd, though, that even 10 units with some chevrons is just like, they're just not the equal of 20 units. I don't know. I don't know how else to explain the math there. I will say that I'm a little bummed out about this army not having a Necrofex Colossus, because that is actually a very useful unit against the Wood Elves. Let's have you guys over here. Pole arms over here. More pole arms over... I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Just get in some kind of position here. Alright, they gotta come to us. You know how this goes. Oh, who did I... Alright, well, that gunnery mob's probably gonna get murdered. For the most part, we are just waiting. Yep, that gunnery mob's gonna get murdered. Never mind what I said. Throw bombs at these guys until you are killed. Maybe stop running and start throwing. Okay, that guy's got the idea. None of you, none of the rest of you are gonna... So many of my units are so bad at their jobs. Let's see if we can save them. Because if we could, it would be nice to have the bombs. Not crucial, I don't think, but nice. And I think the Mongols will beat these guys pretty thoroughly. Can we maybe cut off their retreat? Oh, there goes all my dudes. I'm going to need a little bit more fire focus over here. These guys can't be allowed to just do whatever they want. Can I cast this from... Alright, I have to run a little bit out of position, but it's probably worth doing. Alright, let's try to burn down these tree men. Run out and grab him. Ow. Don't shoot magic at me, you big jerk. Alright, so we're going to have one unit of sirens. Wounded one. Peel off here and encircle the tree man. And these other units can go and engage in melee with the archers. Short work of them. Gerthu is dead? Yep, there he is. Deader than a doornail. Or as equally as dead as a doornail, potentially. I'm not really sure how you tell. Okay, easy enough. I'm not sure why they thought that was going to work. Can we get a little bit of gunnery focus over here? Oh, there's still melee troops all up in my stuff that I'm just like completely disregarding. Okay, maybe this is important. Hold on, let me handle this. And remarkably, we actually have managed to hold these Wild Riders in place for the entire battle. People are starting to die now. Ah, never mind. Never mind, just focus. One thing I do find frustrating about these high elf armies is the way that, or these wood elf armies, is the way they just will not give up. The battle is clearly over, right? They have lost. 100% for certain they have lost. And yet... There we go. Hopefully that just deletes the army. Sometimes an attacking army loses the attack and then just kind of bounces off of you and goes back to their business. I would love it if that did not occur here. So I think Robert should be able to heal up in the part of the sea that he's in. I think this is a sea that we own. But he might actually want to go back to Ulthuan anyway, just to do a little bit of recruitment real quick. Refill his army, replace those bombers with something that actually matters. I don't know. We could always just raise dead when we arrive. I'm sure they've created lots of good battle sites down there. Part of what's really great about these vampire factions, you don't have to worry so much about supply lines. New soldiers are everywhere. You just have to be willing to look, and also often dig them up. And of course, you don't want to dig them up. You're a vampire. Your nails are very important to you. You don't want to get them all screwed up. So first, you find some really shallowly buried dudes, raise them up, and then have them dig up the other guys and then raise them. Alright, well, we're just going to have to finish him off on our turn, I suppose. He didn't actually have to move a lot to get to us. Okay. My concern there was that he might be able to run far enough to get away, but it turns out he had no interest in doing so. Fine by me. So yeah, I bet the drop in power of the vampire factions is indeed them getting manhandled by chaos up there. Looks like they've got it under control now, though. Okay. Suicidally hurling themselves against Brick Black. Much appreciated. Faction destroyed. This other Chaos faction has like one functional army. We'll deal with that soon enough. They might just come after us. Yeah, and we will trivially destroy them. There's absolutely no interest in survival. Glugmir Bloodheim. Alright, that's a pretty good Chaos name. That's like a 9 out of 10 Chaos name. Alright, yes, we got lots of notifications. Oh hey, Bones McDonald is back. We'll put him in charge of something.
Admiral of the fleet.
So wait, which one of the blue factions was it that declared war on me? Oh, in my notifications, right? The Grey Point Scuttlers. Who? Okay, I guess they're over here, but we don't have vision of them. That's weird. We've had the factions declare war on us before when they were able to immediately attack us. I'm not sure why those guys did it. Huh. So interestingly, this
Vampire of the waves.
Capitano Sisico is not on our Pieces of 8 list. That's weird. What about... Where's an army that's on land? You.
All bones on deck.
Yeah, there are only 2 still locked. Huh. Did we defeat Capitano Sisico already and then just not finish her off and she's had time to replenish? I guess that must be what it is. Weird. Anyway. Ignore her. Continue south.
On deck.
Bonnie Jackson cannot quite reach the Dark Elf. We're almost done. I can't wait to actually see that notification. Sailing past locations of interest, I guess.
My servant fails.
You guys seem to be having some problems getting on land. I mean, that's fine by me, like I said. If we can just leave this guy in position and he can distract them forever, it works out pretty okay. Oh, the grand sailing.
All set. Nothing will stop
It's
me.
finally time. I feel like we've been working toward this for a little while now. Working toward just being in a place where it was going to be possible for us to sail down there. Alright, Karan Carr probably should have one of these. And that should get that back under control. Billy Doo, what are you doing? Right, you are finishing the hunting down of chaos. Unfortunately, this is probably going to be a little bit of a task. They are fleeing through the jungle, which is my least favorite place to pursue people through. Had a lot of bad times in this jungle.
Bones on deck.
Alright, Robert Hodgson is almost ready to be integrated into the command structure himself.
Very good.
Is it going to make me manual this?
Wipe
'Cause
them
it seems to really like the Wood Elves. It is going to make me manual this.
out. Them
We will definitely lose our units if we don't do this manually, which is ridiculous. So they found another tree man to step up and take command of the army. I'm not sure how they did that in the middle of the ocean. Maybe he's more of a seaweed man? That would actually be pretty cool. You know, that's a thing I don't think I've seen a lot of in fantasy settings. We've seen mushroom guys. We've all seen tree guys. That's very common. The mushroom guys are a little less common, although I think much, much cooler. But never seaweed. Yeah, sure, this is fine. Listen, this whole battle's kind of a formality. Why am I not... Okay, weird. I don't know why that's so finicky. But this is that map where we definitely need to move the gunners forward, remember? Alright, so let's take the gunners, and they need to be like... The terrain's like weirdly uneven. They need to be up on this bit. Maybe a little bit further forward. Okay, that should do it. The artillery is already where the artillery needs to be. You guys can just kind of form up behind them and we'll figure it out. Okay. And I'm going to leave the two monstrous units way back because I don't really want them to die. Have them come over here and guard the artillery. Boy, it takes us a long time to move into position. A worryingly long time. Okay. I do believe that should be the end of that. Heals for the units that have managed to take a little bit of damage already. They really are just going to go straight for the artillery, huh? Nope. Calling it audible. I want to fight those ghosts instead. Okay, enemy lord is dead. You guys could probably change your focus a little bit here. I think they thought they could just squeeze past. Weird. Alright, well, it seems like this is just about over. I do really want to burn the Oak of Ages, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, we might burn down the Oak of Ages out of spite and then take over Khemri. That might be worth a little bit of extra effort, just to really put our thumb all the way into the eye sockets of those who have dared to annoy us over the course of this campaign. It really is the case that almost everybody who's done that is dead now. There is still the matter of the vampires, but I think really dealing with the vampire counts and the von Karstein bloodline would be an awful lot of extra time. They will survive due to it being very inconvenient for me to make them not survive. And you might say, hey, SB, that sounds like a little bit of laziness on your part. To which I would say, hey, it's not polite to be so correct and truthful about things. Take it down a notch. Come on, load me out. Load me out. I want to get back to my glorious, glorious seas here. My glorious, mostly right-clicking in the water and watching boats slowly sail forward. We'll finish up this turn and then run one more sequence of enemy turns. Just to see if anything unexpected or exciting presents itself. Are you kidding me? How is that army not eliminated yet? I hate.
Harness the sea.
They definitely should not still be alive. That's frustrating. Alright, well. We're done chasing them. They are certainly not a threat anymore. Yeah, Benny Verdish is never going to be able to get into an army. You guys can do your best here. Tim Fenn, for some reason, has a level available. Well, so you can keep working on blue line stuff with him.
Captain, Reporting.
Amelia is also just sort of like... Why don't you take a break? Why don't you just rest now, Amelia?
On deck.
Viola is going to dig for treasure and then probably do the same thing.
Thin out the cattle.
Really, that didn't do it. And there's a lot of stuff over here that's kind of volcano-y. There are two volcanoes. I guess I'll just like run over to here and try to dig close to that volcano. And one quick once-over of the buildings up here. Excuse me. Just try to make sure that we are doing our best on public order. Doing everything we can. Yeah, it looks like the situation's like pretty much resolved. Certainly want to do this. Okay, yeah, I think we're cool. 3 turns away from money rights. I'm actually going to do +5 public order in all provinces. Just really make sure that the north is sealed up for the moment. And over here, we still have rebuilding to do. Oh, right, somebody's got to resettle the Twisted Glade. Well, I guess Two Toes Adley is not ready to really come with us just yet. She can, however, do that. And then also... extra movement. Yeah, she's gonna be a little slow to catch up. Fortunately, she's also almost certainly not necessary. Hey guys, did you know that we have some population surpluses? Okay, I think that was not far enough away to escape. I think we are going to be able to finally put the major Dark Elf faction away. They've been a problem for us for a really long time, actually. Probably longer than almost anybody else at this point. Alright, well, this is a fight that will probably be remarkably easy, given the number of troops that they've brought. Not at all concerned about that. We could even, given our very large amount of money, summon an army at the Fuming Serpent, build it out of the raised dead pool really quickly, and then head down here for a massive numerical advantage. And since they can't retreat into the water, they have nowhere to go if they decide they're outnumbered.
Flow strong, there is nothing.
Oh, interesting. They would pay us 6,000 gold for a peace treaty. Here's the thing. As much as I would love to get peace with some of the nations of the world, you, specifically, are holding almost all of the settlements that I still need. So, absolutely not. We should maybe take a swing at making peace with some of the other factions we're at war with, though. I wonder if maybe we might be able to swing it with some people. I should have checked why they're, is it just a strength thing, or is their dislike of me actually dropping? It might be the case that everybody hates the Dark Elves. That our stellar work in exterminating the Dark Elves may have made us a little bit more respectable in the eyes of the world. Or at least capable. You can't deny, we've really done something over here in the entire western half of the world. I assume that ex-Durthu army is just going to be in open retreat here. Yeah. Well, good. Good riddance to you. Wood Elves hold a weird amount of territory. And it's really strange that they are able to hold just this little disconnected bit. As they're allied with the von Karsteins. So, I guess nobody wants to come over and challenge them for fear of also having to fight infinite vampires. Bunch of cowards is what they are. Okay, well that looks very destroyable. So we are going to stop here. I'm not going to play another turn, but out of curiosity, can I just destroy this faction right now?
All bones on deck.
I think they're just out of range.
Wipe them out.
Yeah. That's a shame. How about up here? Can I finish destroying this Dark Elf faction?
All bones on deck.
They are not just out of range, and I think that even after their retreat here, they're still going to be chaseable. Depends on whether they get across the river or not. Nope, they will not, in fact, even attempt to retreat. Well, I really appreciate that. And with that, Yes, faction destroyed. Finally. That took forever. Alright, that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time. We're going to... it'll probably be like turn 240 or something by then. I'm just going to finish moving our troops into place, and as soon as we're ready to fight cities down in the south, we'll pick it back up there. So, come back next time for that. For the beginning of the end. I probably have said that before, but this time I mean it. And we'll see you then.